Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name's Chris and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we've got some really insane news around Metaverse, lots around NFTs. So we're going to keep it on that sort of subject, bearing in mind Nick and myself are launching our own NFT project at the end of the month. So do join us in Discord. Link is in the description, free to join, and you can find out a little bit more about our project. Whitelisting is currently available for all Patreon All Access members, so do check out our Patreon All Access membership if that's something of interest to you. We do 2 weekly AMAs where you can ask us anything, a bit like Teams meetings. We have our buy, sell alerts and our staking movements all detailed out for you, so you know everything that we're doing movement wise in this space. Now this is huge news, and I didn't even think about this sort of concept, but let's get down to the desktop and have a look at this. So the first one that I wanted to talk about was Metaverse mortgages. Now, it was only the other day people were sort of asking us about the value proposition of Metaverse in our Discord, and sort of around the project that Nick and myself are launching. People wanted to see whether it was worth sort of getting involved. Was it more of a community sort of driven project where you're just part of it because it's you're part of the community, or whether that there's real money to be made. Now, I didn't even consider, I gave some examples, but I didn't even consider Metaverse mortgages to buy properties, and we've got the first one in Decentraland, so it's already happened. We've got a signed property that's got a mortgage on it in the metaverse. So I think we're going to see more and more of this. I think basically anything that happens in the real world, is going to be digitized and in the metaverse. Now, don't get me wrong, you can wander around Decentraland and it doesn't seem like there's many players. But ultimately, I think we're so early, and I think some of these metaverse projects are already experiencing I guess challenges with getting people to be able to afford to get into some of the actual buying of land and buildings. But I think this kind of resolves part of that, if it's still affordable for the average Joe. But Nick and myself, we're really bullish when it comes to Metaverse, but we have always kind of said you've got to do your due diligence, right, and make sure that you get into the right Metaverse projects, because there's going to be lots of projects that don't have the intention to actually follow through with their roadmaps. There's going to be projects that are just set up to part you with your money. So be very, very vigilant out there, right, and make sure that you're looking at the team, and doing that research yourself. Don't just sort of FOMO in because an influencer's talking about it, or one of your friends down the road has got into it, because the likelihood is they may not have done their own research. So it's always best that you go do that and make your own investment decisions based on the research that you've done. Now, I wanted to sort of talk about this one because I just thought it was huge news. It was insane. It is insane. Like, if you don't agree, let me know in the comments, but I do think this is just insane. But the other thing that's really interesting as well, and I wanted to sort of highlight, was the fact that OpenSea surpasses 3.5 billion in monthly ETH trading volume, setting a new all-time high, right? So the reason why I sort of bring this up is because obviously we've had this huge pullback in the market, but that hasn't sort of transitioned into the NFT / metaverse sort of area. And I think there's lots of institutional level sort of investment that's happening in metaverse, right? We see the likes of Facebook purchasing up many gaming companies, Google doing very similar things, and Apple talking about getting into the metaverse. There's just so much of it. Disney is another one that has been recently talking about metaverse, and obviously Vivi has got some Disney related NFTs, collectibles, that sort of stuff. So there's just so much going on, and it's really interesting to myself because mainly because obviously we're doing a metaverse NFT project with real world utility as well as digital utility within the metaverse. So it's interesting to us on many different levels, but the main one is that this looks like it's something that is going to be absolutely monstrous, right? And although we've got the pullback in the market and the values of some of the altcoins and Bitcoin and that are pulling back, over the last sort of few weeks, we don't seem to be seeing that when it comes to the actual adoption of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin leaving the exchanges is as high as it was back in 2018. People really seeing the value in keeping hold of their Bitcoin for the long term. But then you've also got huge amounts of sales for NFTs. Now, don't get me wrong, probably just 1% of the actual NFT sales are going to be worth anything. There's going to be an absolute load of trash in there. So just be really careful out there when it comes to getting into these NFT projects. Just make sure that they've got a solid team that's detailed on their websites and stuff like that. Also make sure that they've got a really solid roadmap. And the other thing to look at is what sort of partnerships have these NFT projects made, and what's the purpose of those relationships or partnerships? Are they just to make the project seem legitimate, or actually are they working together in harmony in order to improve or build a project? So just make sure that you're doing your due diligence. I do really feel strongly when it comes to making sure that people keep their money safe, and I want everybody to be successful in this space, right? I don't want people losing their money due to scams, rug pulls and all that sort of stuff that happens in unregulated spaces. The next one to bring up is Solana's NFT total sale volume crossed $1 billion. So, this was put out on the 19th of January. Again, for me, it just shows that adoption. And that is really the purpose of this video, is just to show the insane amount of money that is going into NFTs, Metaverse, and that side of things, whilst the market is still pulling back. Could you imagine, once we've got some of these metaverses live, because it's super early, a lot of these projects aren't live yet, the metaverse ones, you've got land sales and you can't walk around in some of these metaverses just yet, but there's so much to come. It's really interesting, and the volume of money that's going into these things is just insane. And the other one that I wanted to highlight is ex-Disney chairman expects NFTs to explode. And I guess this is also sort of hinting on the metaverse. Disney has an immense number of opportunities around licensing, and there's lots of advertising opportunities already in the metaverse. So yeah, really, really interesting. The other thing that I wanted to sort of flag up as well was Cardano grows block size by 11% to meet scaling challenges. There has been immense scaling issues on Cardano, right? It's part of the reason why we actually delayed our NFT project launch. And we've also seen other companies delay their NFT drops just purely because SundaeSwap has obviously launched and it's been so successful. I will link all of these in the description of the video for you to take a proper sort of look at and dig into in a little bit more detail than I've covered them in this video. But I've kind of wanted to articulate to yourselves, the amazing opportunity that there is around Metaverse, around NFTs, around play to earn games, all of this sort of stuff. This is kind of like the next big wave of real adoption for cryptocurrency. Do let me know what your thoughts and opinions are on the insane news that you can now get a mortgage to buy land in the Metaverse. Really interested to get your views and opinions. If you enjoyed today's content, mash up that like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tapping that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.